viewers, this is Paladin Voden, and this is some more Magic the Gathering Online. This is another episode of the Standard Commentary Series, and it looks like we've got Bant Aggro versus... Honestly, I'm starting to think that this is a Delirium-type deck, though I'm not exactly sure. Could be Jund-colored to explain why he has Kozilek's Return in there. Unless he's playing Eldrazi and he wants Kozilek's Return in his graveyard. Thalia, Heretic Cathar. Oh, forgot to mention, Eldritch Moon has officially released on Magic the Gathering Online. So, we're seeing a lot of interesting stuff tonight. You know, if this guy were playing a Delirium deck, I would expect to see some cards with Delirium on them by now. Okay, getting Haunted Dead back. That doesn't help him against this attack. He's still going to take 5. And creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. Okay. And Gisela. And, wow. That's quite the picture right there. That kind of bugs me that, you know, you're trying to look at just this card and it brings up all 3 of them. But I guess, you know, what was a better way for him to do it? It of the Horrid Swarm. Ah, Emerge. Okay. So he is playing Eldrazi. And a well-timed Eldrazi play there, since he did have the Kozilek's Return in hand. 5 damage kills all of the opposing creatures. And it will leave him with a 4/4 and 2/1/1 insect tokens. So maybe this is a green-black Eldrazi deck. Either way, that was a well-done turn, because now Bant Aggro is in a little bit of trouble here. He throws down Oath of Nissa, which, for his sake, you know, I kind of hope that he finds a creature. You know, pretty much any creature in this situation would be helpful. And Reflector Mage to bounce the It of the Horrid Swarm. Creature paying the emerge cost reduced by that creature's converted mana cost. Okay, so the insect tokens are useless for the emerge cost. But Haunted Dead, on the other hand, brings in the prized amalgam, gets him the spirit token as it is, and it's a 4 converted mana cost. Another emerge. Distended Mindbender. It's a 5/5. When you cast Distended Mindbender, target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose from it a non-land card with converted mana cost 3 or less, and a card with converted mana cost 4 or greater. And they have to discard them. So, Gideon and another Reflector Mage. Things are really not looking good for Bant here. Oath of Nissa, hopefully for him it will get him a bomb, but I don't think so. You know, even another Reflector Mage isn't exactly the best play, considering these guys, you know, these big guys that he's been playing have come into play effects. Bruna? Really? And I have to say, I find that slightly annoying that the revealed card, which he revealed a card, didn't show up in the revealed card zone. I had a problem with this in a recent video where I wasn't watching chat and just assumed that Duskwatch Recruiter wasn't finding anything. All-out attack from, I guess we'll call him Golgari Eldrazi. And I'm pretty sure that Bant is done here. Though, no, because she costs 7. He's only got 5. I was going to say, that would be quite the play. Bruna grabbing back Gisela. Now, I highly doubt that even if he had managed to do that she would live. One of them would live. But, Reflector Mage, response from Eldrazi is bringing back the Haunted Dead again, which is actually really helpful for this deck. I don't know if this is going to be an archetype, but, this card is alright normally, but in a situation like this, this guy makes use of this in a ridiculously good combo. Oh, Decimator of the Provinces. Crater, what is it? Craterhoof Behemoth. Only, could be cheaper, depending on what you sacrifice to the Emerge. He sacrificed the Distended Mindbender, so all he had to do was pay 3 green. But Bant goes down there. That's kind of an unusual outcome for Bant, given how high on the deck lists they have been riding since, what was it? Abzan Midrange cycled out. Maybe Eldritch Moon is the death knell of Bant Aggro. Who knows, but we'll see. Game 2 of this match. Okay, first turn, Oath of Nissa. And I have to say, it's an interesting deck so far, this Golgari Eldrazi deck. All of the graveyard mechanics that have been going on lately are melding very well together, at least from what we've seen of his deck. Though we haven't seen any Delirium cards from him, but he's probably playing some because why not when you're putting so many cards into your own graveyard anyway? Turn 2 Sylvan Advocate. Bant is ramping out quite nicely. Gather the Pack from Eldrazi. And that's the thing about Gather the Pack. 2 mana and you can pretty much just dump 6 cards into your graveyard if you feel like it. In this case, he dumped 4 lands and gathered the pack. Found himself a Haunted Dead, which is kind of ridiculously powerful with what we've seen from this guy. Noose Constrictor, the new Wild Mongrel, as some have speculated. The only real difference between Noose Constrictor and Wild Mongrel is the Constrictor has reach, and the Mongrel can change color. Ooh, collective effort. Put a +1/+1 on each creature you control. So 2 3/3 Sylvan Advocates. He is blocking with the Noose Constrictor, discarding a card to make it a 3/3. Other to make it a 4/4 and kill the Sylvan Advocate. He did discard Haunted Dead, which he can get back, and he discarded It of the Horrid Swarm, which, not the worst creature, but honestly, he probably has his hand to get going with anyway. Haunted Dead comes back, makes a chump blocker, and Emerge, Distended Mindbender. It's a very powerful card. A 5/5 makes them discard 2 cards almost guaranteed. 3 mana or less and 4 mana or more. He had to lose Reflector Mage and Gisela. Or is it Gisela? Is it a soft G or a hard G? Grapple with the past. Top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard and return a creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. So he's getting Distended Mindbender back. Merge cost of 7. He could sacrifice his other Distended Mindbender, pay 2 black, and play it. He's holding back here because, it is Bant Aggro. Just because you're doing well, you can't just assume that your deck is going to wreck a second game in a row. Declaration in Stone gets rid of the 5/5 before, he was probably going to do exactly what I said and sack it to play another one. Sylvan Advocate gets in for 3. So Eldrazi is down to 11. And no plays. Let's see, we know he has Haunted Dead in his graveyard. The problem is, does he have the cards to discard to it? Yes, he does. So he discarded another Haunted Dead, Collective Brutality. I would have been tempted to not get rid of that, since you could play it for 2, discard 1 card, and give this -4/-4. And there's Gisela again. Popping the Clue token. Now, the great thing here for Bant is the fact that he's already at 20. I mean, he's still at 20. And, he's got a decent board here. Distended Mindbender again. His hand is getting messed up pretty hard. Archangel Avacyn and Reflector Mage. But, the other side, he can't really block Gisela. Discarding his 2 cards would make it a 4/4, and it would die to First Strike. So, she's going to get through. Honestly, I would Anthem him here, but he goes for the Knight token. Added Insurance. Lifelink puts him up to 24. And Eldrazi is in a bad way right now. He's at 6. He's had some really good combinations here, but the problem is, he needs to be able to stop her. Collective Brutality to kill off the token, and he's attacking all in, going after Gideon. He's got 2 cards in hand, so honestly, I was going to say, you could just let him kill it, because if you were to block the 5/5, he could discard 2 cards, but at the same time, I would have made him do it. I would have forced the issue. Because he still had the cards to discard for Haunted Dead, which will get him a blocker to block the flyer. He will take 3 and be down to 2, though. So, he really needs an answer for this board here. And honestly, let's see. Languish would clear the board, his side included. Okay, he concedes. Yeah, I was trying to think, what else could he play? And I couldn't really come up with a good answer to that without, setting him back. I mean, a Languish would have cleared the board and left him with the 5/5, which would have been a 1/1 at the time. But, well, maybe this is a sign of things to come. Sorry, this video is probably really long. I'm not going to stop and check the timer right now, but that was Bant Aggro versus, I will call it, Golgari Eldrazi. And if you liked what you saw, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I'll see you in the next video.